And now back to your regular programming.
If you speak better to yourself.
You showed up for probably the dumbest conversation we've ever had on this show.
Let's have that smile again.
Tell me how that happens. Physically should not happen.
Relax.
If you say it
Give me as well.
3 times a day, God will line it up.
He's just an absolute hack, and he gets his ass kicked by the teammates every week. It's just terrible.
DeLeone and Sean Anderson, 2 former college football players from the University of Rhode Island. Planes, trains, and automobiles have let us down today, but we are here. Talk NFL news. Frank Ragnow retiring, what it means for the Lions. Justin Fields apparently making a little bit of buzz at OTAs for the Jets. And we got to talk about the Stefon Diggs situation. This is a doozy. Before we get to all that, Sean, can you share with our listeners a quick word from BetOnline?
BetOnline, the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for all your sports betting action. If you're one of the smart people that bet against the SEC in the college baseball tournament, then you probably won some money, as 9 out of their 13 submitted teams have been bounced. I thought they were so good. I don't know how they keep getting bounced like this. It's so unfortunate. I take no joy in watching the mega conference trying to destroy all of college athletics under its insidious boot get bounced from an easy child's game like baseball. But if you want to make some money on it, head to BetOnline, the largest selection of odds on everything from MLB, NHL, UFC. BetOnline, it remains the number one online source for all your sports wagering info. I caught a mean glare out of the SEC bootlicker's eye just now, but I'm still in a read. In between games, head over to the BetOnline casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Sean's a really bad co-host, by the way. I was trying to get some pre-show discussion going in the middle of the workday, and I sent him a really cool video that I found of one of those simulated, I think it was a bus going over a
speed bump.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch the video at least?
No, I haven't.
You didn't watch the video?
No, not yet.
Oh, it's a great video. I can sit and watch those videos for hours. Just simulated cars getting hit and crushed by things.
Are you getting dumber?
God forbid a man enjoys cars getting demolished. What else am I supposed to watch? An astrophysics documentary? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
I'm reading a book on Native Americans at night now, so I don't know.
I'm sure.
I got my the horse that I'm hooking my carriage up to is watching speed bump versus bus videos.
You read your first book you've read in months, and you're sitting over here making it seem like I'm the dumb one.
I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm just wondering if you're getting dumber. I got to know the track here.
Don't act like you don't do things that aren't dumb.
I'm not saying I don't. I'm king dumb.
Oh, so I have to be the smart one in this situation, is what you're saying.
I just need to know.
If I don't act smart,
you still haven't answered the question on whether or not you are getting dumber. That's concerning.
I've always been dumb. I don't know where you think this. I've always been entertained.
I can't have you get any worse.
No.
I can I'll plateau at my level of intelligence here in a couple years, and that's where I'm gonna either pit out or ceiling out. I'm gonna be there. I need you to be on the steady incline for the rest. I know that's not possible. That's not possible. What do you mean?
That's not possible.
I need you to keep going.
Both of us are going downhill.
Am I supposed to?
No, you're not either. We're both declining.
This show can't
mentally,
possibly get
physically. Worse. It's possible. I have to ask you this before we get to the NFL stuff. So, it's my birthday next week, and I thought of the great idea. I want to gallivant about in the city on Saturday. Should I get one of those birthday girl sashes if we go and do that?
I was going to ask if you were going to wear your birthday girl dress because you want to go gallivant in the city.
Should I do that, though? Should I get the tiara, too, and everything?
It'd be a funny bit. I don't know.
I think I get hit on by the wrong people, which is now I'm thinking about. That's probably not a good idea.
I'd like
wrong people's not the right word. People I don't want hitting on me.
Here's what I want you to do.
Okay.
I want you to find some 1998 New Year's glasses to honor your birth year. And if you could be walking around in 1998 glasses, that'd fire me up.
No, I don't think that's not the bit I'm going
June
for.
12th, 1998. Joe DeLeone was born into the world at a whopping, what were you, 6 pounds?
I have no idea.
Maybe 4 inches.
I don't think I was a big baby. 4 inches.
Yeah,
how big do you think babies are?
I don't know. I know you're a big baby.
All right, we got NFL to talk about. We've got NFL to talk about. You're a dipshit. Frank Ragnow retired yesterday, and this was shocking. 29 years old. He's done. Frank Ragnow is out, and we have to talk about why this could derail the Lions season in 2025. Now, it's kind of being projected, speculated that Tate Ratledge could be the starting center who was drafted on day 2 of the 2025 NFL draft. He is typically played guard in his time at Georgia. No experience playing center, which is not really a position you want to throw a rookie into that has not played center.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely does that pan out. Very rarely have we seen positive results. Usually it's the opposite. Guy that played center in college, maybe they bump him to guard just because you already have a solidified center position. What are your thoughts on this situation and if it will hurt the Lions' abilities to run the ball and have a good offensive line this season?
This is a problem for them. This is a real deal problem. You do not want to lose a starting offensive lineman after the draft for any reason. Injury, retirement, trade, release, doesn't matter. You don't want to lose them because it's pretty hard to find them after a window of getting them is closed. So to lose not only an offensive lineman, but a center, and not just a center, but a Pro Bowl center and anchor heartbeat of the offense in Ragnow is brutal. You want to throw Graham Glasgow in there? Okay. Tate Ratledge? Okay. It's going to be worse. Not to their fault. They are guards. But to lose that guy, it's brutal because Jared Goff is a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. I'd say Frank Ragnow is a better quarterback of the offensive line than Jared Goff is. So now we're going to leave Jared Goff up to his own devices and going to leave Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery without a mean, hard-nosed, tough-as-all-shit center. That's not good. That is a bad look. And I know it's medical and he's probably hurt and he knew he couldn't go. Awful situation.
Right.
I'm certain if he knew that he couldn't go before the draft, he would have said something. And I think it just didn't progress. Whatever his injury was, didn't progress the way he wanted it to. He's cutting the cord.
I absolutely don't put any of this on Ragnow, as you just said. I don't think anyone is. But I think that it is legitimate for us to call into question expectations for what the Lions are going to be able to do this season. And I think that you put that really well. Timing's terrible. There is no way to find a solution here. Usually if you have like a roster problem, a health issue with a player or something, you could go and trade for a bad team's best receiver. You can go and trade for a bad team's starting quarterback even. Running backs, defensive tackles. You're not going to be able to get a team starting center. Mm-hmm. And also, more importantly, most bad football teams that are willing to give up offensive linemen don't have good centers. It's one of the hardest positions in the NFL to find consistency and reliability. I think it's a problem to me because of the fact that they have this identity, this hard-nosed, physical, downhill identity that has been running the football. I think that losing him and also Kevin Zeitler in one season, kind of the thought was, hey, maybe Ratledge could plug in where Zeitler was. There is going to be a musical chairs that has to happen to figure out like the direction of what this team is going to look like, what this unit's going to look like. But I know you're laughing at what Danny said in the chat.
Laughed at.
I know you're laughing at
the
Danny
same thing you
said
did, where you're making a great point, and I'm just like giggling to myself.
I saw what Danny said, and I realized when I read that comment, what Danny said, I realized, that would not end well for me. It's not going to end well for me.
I'm rooting for it now. I'm rooting for it.
I'm not doing it now. I thought it would have been funny. Would have got a couple of laughs. Maybe would have got me a free drink. But now I realize would not have ended well. To get back to talking about football, which is what we're here for. Not me wearing a tiara out at the bars this weekend. Knowing what they do well, not having your starting center, and that starting center being at the minimum a top 3 center in the NFL, there's no positive outcome here. There's not. I would be stunned if there was an outcome where they got better. That it's not possible.
No. Can you picture that meeting room for the Detroit Lions offensive line? And you're kind of sitting in there watching film. The rookies are learning more. And you're like, oh, man, all right, Frank's not here today. And then you hear, fellas. And Dan Campbell comes in and is like breaking you the news. And he's got that big crazy eyes and that deep voice. And you're sitting there, young Tate Ratledge, like, oh, shit. This is not what I thought was going to happen here. This isn't good, because the offensive line room it really doesn't get invaded by the head coach, because the head coach kind of lets the position be for the most part. He understands all the facets, and it needs to start with the offensive line, but he's got much bigger head cases to manage with the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, the DBs. He doesn't really need to get in on the big fellas because they're already working and they're churning, and they don't need any more shit piled on top of them. Him walking into that room, breaking that to them, I'd pay to see it, because I know how that would feel. Because whenever the head coach walked in our room, everyone tightened up a little bit, and it's a pretty relaxed room. Yeah. You know, you're making the sacrifices, you're never touching the ball, and you get a little leeway. The offensive line room always was a little more of a party than the other rooms, but this was not a party today. The Lions know they got worse.
I saw some people trying to make this comparison. I saw this, I don't forget who tweeted it, but there were multiple people who try to make this reference. The last time a team, and I'm not saying this as Lions fans, you should be excited about it. I think that if you're making this rationale, you are coping. The last time a team lost their starting center, all-pro center, and both coordinators was the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles. This is not that same circumstance. It's not the same thing. It's not. The Eagles have done a tremendous job of drafting and developing so that when J.C. Kelsey left, there was no misstep. There was none. There was none. They just kept going. If anything, they actually got maybe better without J.C. Kelsey this year, which they weren't as good as the tush push.
Yeah,
but they got better in some areas.
You win the Super Bowl year after. I'm not going to knock you.
I think that with the fact that this roster didn't really lose much else should provide a lot of optimism for Lions fans. Like that's something that you can hang your hat on, of knowing like, hey, we didn't get completely decimated by most of our secondary leaving or a bunch of our receivers leaving. Like it's just the retirement of your starting center, a couple of ancillary pieces, and both coordinators. I have said this already. We already reacted to Aaron Glennon and Ben Johnson leaving. That to me is the biggest question mark. But now having to break in a new starting center and a new offensive coordinator on that side of the football, a lot of things making my head spin, which I don't love. I don't like having questions. If I have a question that I can find a solution to immediately, talking about a team going into a season, I can find reasons to believe that they're going to be fine. I don't have an answer for the question that we're asking right now. I don't. Do you have answer to this question of will they be fine? I don't. The answer is I don't know.
Yeah, it's very tough because you could ask that question and someone say, well, look at all the talent, and it's hard to ignore that amount of talent and not put them in the fine status. But these are big issues. Yeah. And my question for you, one, how much would Detroit have to pay to get Kelsey to play center for them? Or
no, stop it. I don't think he's in football shape. I don't think he looks small now.
How much money would he have to lose to have to get another 2 years back in the NFL?
I think you'd max get him 1 year. Come on, man. We can't.
He'd have to go broke. Okay, 1 year. He'd have to go broke, right?
See, one of the good things about when we do the show, we don't ask stupid talk radio questions.
Sure.
That was a stupid talk radio
question. I'm just
question.
wondering.
We don't have 2 hours to fill. We don't have 2 hours to. You think that Jason Kelsey, who looks like he's lost weight since he was already small, he looks like he's like 265 right now.
He could tack it on. He could tack that on.
Would that be good weight?
No, it'd be Detroit pizza weight, which is nice because it's in a square.
Have you had Detroit pizza before?
Yeah.
I got in an argument with Mike Payton of A to Z Sports when we were at the Combine. I was giving him a hard time because he was trying to convince me that Detroit pizza was good. And I told him it didn't sound very appealing.
What? Oh, it's delicious. No, Detroit pizza is great because they crisp up the crust like a pan pizza. And then the corner pieces, you get double of that delicious crust. And the inside, square pizza, you think like lunchroom cafeteria pizza.
That's like the
flat, gross
first thought that I have.
No, it's like
It sounds better than
tall.
Chicago pizza. I will say that much. It sounds like Chicago pizza sounds stupid. And I've tried it before. The concept is dumb. If you're from the East Coast, you're not touching Chicago pizza. I'd rather have Detroit pizza than I would eat Chicago pizza.
Agreed. I would take Chicago pizza in like the dead of winter. Like that's the only time it's acceptable to eat it.
You're eating cake. You're eating pizza cake.
The Detroit pizza, it's also much lighter. It's tall. It's as tall as a Chicago pizza, but the inside dough is light and fluffy. It's delicious.
Big pizza expert over here with the pizza hat on.
Yeah.
Did you take me to that spot, or is that a different spot?
No, I took you to Fascia Luna, which is
Oh.
now closed because I think the managers got too old. They were lifers. And
Based on the quality of that pizza, it's probably better off that they're closed.
how about you go fuck yourself?
Oh, come
dude?
on. Oh,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
on.
yeah. No,
No,
that's
what?
one. That's
What?
what I'm gonna get shoot defensive
Oh.
about is Fascia Luna because it's the
You
only,
agreed with me it
it's the
wasn't that
only
good.
true passable pizza in Northern Virginia.
Okay.
Tony's is
Well,
pretty
that's a
good also.
problem if that's.
Oh no! Trust me, I know
Okay.
the woes of Northern Virginia cuisine. It's all okay. You get some places that are good, and there's not much that's going to wow you because there's so much transplants. There's not enough time for people to actually settle in. Fascia Luna settled in. That was an institution.
It was fine.
You didn't get their mussels. You didn't get the bruschetta. You didn't get a nice tall Peroni at the bar.
I'll never get a chance to.
You never will. And I'm
so
sorry. for you.
I will die thinking that it was bad.
I'm not going to get hurtful now, okay? Because I've seen the pizza that's gone around New Jersey. It's good. But all your good pizza is out the way. How about you put some of the good spots up by the city? It's all I'm not going to deny Jersey doesn't have
distance.
I'm not going to deny that Jersey doesn't have good
walk
pizza.
into any slice
But
spot in Hoboken.
All the quote unquote great
10
spots
minutes away.
Did you say great slice? You calling Basil's a great slice?
It's one of the highest rate. It is a great. It's not as good as a slice that I get in New York. It's not the best slice in Hoboken, but I think it's a great slice. It gets the job done. I would eat that before I would.
Gets
eat
the
Fascia
job done
Luna's.
does not qualify to great.
It's at least a 6.5.
Obi Toppin gets the job done. Is he a great player?
No, he's
No.
much better than the New Jersey pizza is a lot better than Obi Toppin.
Hold on. Danny Diaz, $2. Thank you for the super
Thank
chat
you for the
briefly.
super chat, Danny.
Nova Native, Luna's sucks. That's crazy, D-man. That is goddamn crazy.
So he's agreeing with me.
I don't know why he's calling it Luna's. I'm talking about Fascia Luna, Danny.
Oh, okay,
Fascia
we're
Luna.
not here to yell about pizza, but I'm glad that Danny's supporting my take here. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate the super chat.
Punch you in the head.
Comment below if you're in the chat, by the way. Would you prefer Virginia pizza or New Jersey pizza?
New Jersey pizza is the answer. It's a good. Hey, good. We don't do hot take radio questions.
I'm trying to engage the audience here. Could you settle down over there?
Every good pizza spot 40 minutes away.
That's not true. I'll take you to some
in
pizza
Ass
spots.
County. I'm sure. Oh yeah. It's only a 35-minute drive.
I love
it was close to my own place.
All right. All right. Of course, Ryan says Virginia pizza. We got to talk about Justin Fields. I love talking about Justin Fields. He's one of my favorite offseason topics because he can mean anything in our minds.
Mm-hmm.
He can be anything. He's a mythical creature of success for what he could be. We can imagine a world where he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But the reality is probably not there. Justin Fields, though, could explode this season, have a great year for New York. And there's a lot of reasons to believe why. We've talked about after the signing why if there is a Sam Darnold-like player this year, it's going to be Justin Fields. Ain't going to be Kenny Pickett. It's going to be Justin Fields because there's a lot of momentum flowing in the right direction. We'll get to that. He spoke this past Thursday via Rich Samini of ESPN.com. He said, I think I can be great. First time I've heard a quarterback who's had a shaky start to their career that is just straight up said, I think I can be great. Not I think this team can be great. I think that I can be great. He said, that's been the goal for me my whole life, my whole career. I think the sky's the limit for this team, for this offense, but we do have a long way to go. A lot of confidence that Justin Fields is speaking with. This became even more interesting as Brian Baldinger, I wrote down I accidentally copy and pasted the same quote twice. Love that when I do the notes. Brian Baldinger talked about that, though, at OTAs, how Fields looks incredibly fast. He looks like he's moving great. He looks like everything is really starting to stand out. It seems like there is some optimism to be had. We're not doing the OTA freakout thing. Instead, we're just going to talk about, like, if this goes well, what does it look like? What does it look like if things go according?
God, yeah, that is a dangerous team if things go according. Genuinely, it is. If Justin Fields does become great, the Jets become immediate winners because they have a really sturdy foundation in that team of top caliber players. top caliber players that aren't dramatic, and they've had every reason to be. Sauce Gardner has had every reason to be a diva, and Garrett Wilson has had every reason to say, I don't know what's wrong. I can't control everything. I can't be the quarterback. Breece Hall has had reasons to come. They don't. I would have if I was a Jets player under these regimes. If it all comes together with these guys and their amenable personalities and no attitude issues, and they have a quarterback that is a Superman type build that runs like hell, and if he figures out some of the accuracy stuff, can win you ball games, we're looking at a really exciting Jets team, and we're looking at a very powerful AFC East. They're not going to be challenging the Bills. I wouldn't say that, but with an improved Patriots team, a regressing Dolphins team, they could go and legitimately battle with both of those teams. I could pencil them in, if it goes great for Justin Fields, as a sweep of both of those teams. And I am very high on New England this year. I'm very low on Miami, but I'm not going to deny that they don't have talent either. The Jets, if it works out, could be and create one of the most exciting divisions in football this year.
Folks, let us know in the chat, how many wins do you think the New York Jets are going to have this year? I am taking the over on their win total. I'm going to look it up in a second. But one thing that we didn't talk about after the draft was how the Jets offensive line looks this upcoming season. I mean, they have had one of the most underrated offensive line rebuilds over the last couple of seasons. They drafted Olu Fashanu, who a lot of people had graded as the number one, if not the number two tackle in the last class after Joe Alt. They drafted Armand Membu, who's super athletic, super mobile, super fluid, came out of Missouri, was one of the better offensive linemen in this class, and is supposed to play right tackle, which I think is best for him. Joe Tippmann's an underrated center. Elijah Vera Tucker is a underrated quality guard. There is a world that this could be one of the best offensive lines in the AFC. Like, there is a legitimate world that this could be one of the better run games in the NFL. I think that the path for success for the Jets ultimately becomes them leaning into that. Them not trying to, and it sounds like, by the way, Aaron Glenn's talked about this, you've kind of heard bits and pieces of it, that they're recognizing what the identity needs to be. If they run the shit out of the football, and there's a lot of read option opportunities, and you've got Justin Fields running the rock, you've got Breece Hall running the rock, you're getting nitty gritty in the short area spots with Braylon Allen, who's a dump truck. You can be a mauling force. And we have seen teams turn themselves into successful franchises by running the football and letting everything else come second. And their receiving room, not great, but you have Garrett Wilson, who's going to be productive, 1,000-yard guy most likely this upcoming year. If you can get some passing production and less of what Arthur Smith was trying to make Justin Fields do last year and just run the damn rock, this Jets team can be a 10-win team. It absolutely can be, and I don't think enough people are talking about that.
I love where your head's at with running the ball, and how the Jets would look and should look and could look would be read option offense, and when you start wearing them down, take the top off, and then you have a game-breaking offense. What it shouldn't look like, and what it unfortunately most likely will look like, because OCs outthink themselves sometimes, is forced balls to Alan Lazard, unnecessary jump ball passes to Josh Reynolds, who is fine, but that is not playing to the team's strengths. The team's strengths are, we're going to lean on the running quarterback we have, we're going to lean on the very good running backs we have, and we're going to target Garrett Wilson 15 times a game. And if you do that, I couldn't find somebody that would complain. If you attempt it,
we make it sound so simple. Make it sound so simple, Sean.
They complain when Alan Lazard drops his second pass of the game and it's the third quarter, and that was a third down that they missed, and everyone's yelling, why are we throwing it to Alan Lazard? Well, that's where it happens.
I kind of don't hate that they drafted Arian Smith. And I kind of like this idea of, like, his hands are not good. I kind of like this idea. I kind of like this idea of just like trying to be fast and trying to be explosive. Like, if you can't run the ball, just take a shot.
Yeah.
Just take a shot. It's like, playing 3-and-D. Running the ball, you're just taking 3-point shots. And if that doesn't work, you stink, and, we move on, we get a new quarterback. I really think, as much hype as we give to Caleb Williams and the Bears and Ben Johnson, if there was an unexpected team with a first-year head coach that ends up being great, I absolutely think it could be the Jets. We've got another first-year head coach in Mike Vrabel in the AFC East, who's trying to navigate his own turmoils, and that being dealing with Stefon Diggs. What was the one thing, Sean, that we talked about with the Stefon Diggs signing? That he can be a distraction. And some people kind of push, a lot of people push back on that. A lot of people push back on, like, what are you talking about? Like, that's disrespectful. He has been distracting for the Bills. Wasn't as distracting for the Texans. Now he gets caught up on a video with a baggie of, pink substance. I'm no drug enthusiast.
Oh, your glasses tell me otherwise.
Okay. I don't know a lot about drugs. Do you know what the pink substance was? Some people pointed out it's like a very high quality version of cocaine, or am I off?
Yeah, they're talking about flipping, and they're talking about it possibly being E mixed with blow, and they're calling it 2C, and some people are saying it's a lighter on top of a weed bag, but why would the lighter be in its own bag? And then someone would say, well, you're on a boat, jackass. How are you going to keep the lighter dry?
Were you having a conversation? It sounds like you were having a conversation.
I've been in the nitty gritty with this one. It's been fun.
Okay.
And this is a heinous look. And I like the celebration for wide receiver one activities. And this is a bad look. This is a bad career move.
Last time someone was on a boat and there were pictures and videos.
Bad career
What
move.
happened? What happened? We did this with Odell. We did this. Now they weren't drugs on the boat with Odell. Stay off.
Somebody had a lit J in the picture.
Oh, I didn't know
it was
that.
before a playoff game.
I never looked at the picture. I knew the picture. I know the picture exists. I've seen it like a distance, but I've never focused on I've scrolled past it every single time I've seen it because I'm so scarred by it. I've completely put that on my memory.
That's your 28-3.
Let's just break it down as simple as possible. If you are a wide receiver, don't get on the boat. Don't get on the boat. We're 2 for 2. We're 2 for 2 for bad instances on boats. You're going to get a picture taken of you. It's not going to go well. Boats are bad for wide receivers. I can't explain it. There's no, I can't even put the words together.
The boat is even my second biggest issue. My first biggest issue is that
drugs.
No, that's like third or fourth, maybe. My first biggest is that Stefon Diggs just dating Cardi B now. What does that do for you, Stefon Diggs? First of all,
getting all flirty and shit on the boat with these other girls. It was Cardi on the boat?
Yeah, she was. I think she's a mother of 1 or 2, so awesome. Second of all, her former husband, Offset, was part of one of the biggest rap groups ever, gangster rap, trap rap. It actually surpassed gangster rap for all the people that haven't been keeping up. In the mid-2010s, a new music came out called trap music, where gangster rap, you would sometimes get some melody, harmonics, and not talking about gangster stuff. Trap music is gangster shit 100% of the time. And when you are in one of those groups, you live the life. We saw what happened with Takeoff, RIP. Why are you affiliated yourself, Stefon Diggs? Why do you need to? You need the attention because you're starting to decline. You're coming off an ACL injury. Well, that would make sense if you.
He's enjoying himself, but he's enjoying it. Do this after you retire.
That makes sense if you didn't get paid $60 million over 3 years this year by the New England Patriots with Mike Vrabel leading the helm. And Joe, I can't remember perfectly, but is Mike Vrabel a really lenient guy? Is he a Pete Carroll type coach, or is he a more of a Bill Parcells type coach? Parcells. Yeah. What?
Parcells. Sorry.
Parcells? Wait, did I say Parcells?
Wait, I'm tripped. I had a brain fart. Continue talking.
Mike Vrabel is king hard ass of modern NFL. You think it's Dan Campbell, but it's not. He's just loud. It's different. Mike Vrabel he doesn't give a damn. He is hard nosed. He doesn't put on the act. He doesn't put on airs. And you're on the boat and you're being photographed and videoed. Why? Why are you allowing yourself to be videoed if you're Stefon Diggs? That's a huge other component. Where's your get back guy?
Right. Well, yeah, you need to, for how much money he's making and he's made, you'd think that he'd have somebody looking over his shoulder. There's a reason why you never see guys get caught up with pictures like this and videos like this.
He wanted to be seen. I think he wanted to.
So here's my big thing. Thank you, Danny Diaz, for the super chat. We'll get that to that in a second. If he stinks halfway through the year, like, he better be good. If you're already doing this crap, and he showed up to practice on Monday after not being there for the beginning of it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do this crap, you better be good. For how much you're getting paid, you better be good. You better show up and be the team's number one receiver. If he's mediocre, cut his ass. Cut his ass. Don't waste your time. You don't need a distraction. We just talked about Vrabel being a hard ass. Comes from the Belichick tree. He doesn't put up with this crap.
Yeah. He may have learned a thing or two from Bill Belichick. And in a year with a second-year quarterback that has a lot of stake and was impressive at times his rookie year, new head coach, you're just reinvesting like hell into the team. This is the exact opposite thing that you're looking for. Maybe it's not. Maybe you need a distraction. But why would you? Why would you ever? Why would you tolerate this unless he's in his prime? There are a couple of receivers right now that I'd say you could do whatever the hell you want in the offseason. Justin Jefferson, I don't care where you are. If you show up at week 1, I know you're going to have 1,510. Jamar Chase is in that category for me. There are receivers in the NFL that can get away with it. But Stefon Diggs, unfortunately, you're past that.
Well, a lot of the best ones don't get caught up in the nonsense. They're not like they're just not. They're doing a better job of.
Jamar's kind of caught up.
Why?
Well, Jamar's a little bit caught up, but his isn't this caught up because he's not getting videoed.
Oh, yeah.
He's just having people talking about some of his.
Danny sent us a super chat. What do we?
Oh yeah. Sean Diggs situation. Does this bump?
I don't understand.
Rough shtick. Yeah, he's trying to mix streams between other show shtick into this show shtick. Danny, no, it doesn't. This is a jackass move from Stefon Diggs. All around.
Complete jackass move.
Yeah, no, it does not bump.
Couldn't be a bigger jackass move.
This is not something I'm going to sit here and say a super charismatic, intelligent, athletic, talented, at times great ambassador for the game of football should be doing. Stefon Diggs is a great story for the league. 5th round receiver. Goes to Minnesota when they were utterly shit and then turns it around, becomes a hero in Minnesota, does great in Buffalo, tragedy in Houston with the injury. And he's got probably one more real stop where he could be a real impact wide receiver. He's cracking it open with this. I'm not saying I watched him in practice. I saw the film of him in practice. He looked like he was in great shape. It looks like he's been working out, but this is just stuff you don't want to layer. You don't want to give people a reason in the NFL because when we get a reason on this show, look at that. We'll fill 15 minutes. We could talk about this because it's stupid. It does not bump, Danny.
We need to be better. Stefon, we need to be better. Simply put, no more BS, no more nonsense. Let's play some ball.
Yeah.
No receiver should be on a boat.
Correct. No, we stay off the boats. We either need to be better or we need more people to be worse. Because right now,
you think we just need to go all in? Everyone needs to be a dirtbag.
It'd be kind of hard to single you out if everyone around you.
Bag. I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to know what was in the bag. I don't know. I don't know enough about drugs. I'm glad that I don't know enough about drugs. I want to know what was in the bag because here's probably some crazy shit.
Here's something I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
All right. I'm too fat and you're too short for us to ever be in a situation on a boat in Miami to even come close to that type of drug. The designer drugs.
Oh, you think that we don't have that kind of motion? You don't think we had that kind of motion?
No.
You don't think we could ever have that kind of motion?
Think
we could be those crypto dickheads who are like, we rent the boat and it's just like 30 guys on the boat. You don't think we could ever be like that?
I'd hook myself up to the rope and become the ship's anchor if I was on a boat with a crypto. If I was on a crypto boat,
we wouldn't. We should do our own version of it. We should gather as many fat idiots on YouTube as possible. Just get a big boat. Like, it's the YouTube football creators networking event. Just a bunch of dudes getting out, networking and figuring it out, man.
I bet we could get a good pontoon.
No. We get a real boat.
A pontoon's a real boat. What do you want? What do you want to do? You want to go tubing? you want to put on some water skis?
Get like a yacht or something. I don't know. We get
football YouTubers are going to be on a boat with designer drugs.
Yeah, we're going to Miami. Yeah, we can make it happen.
We're going to park the boat.
I'm not bringing the drugs. I don't know how to get drugs. But
I think they're in Miami. That's where I bet they are. I think if
Where I bet
if
they
you're
are.
able to get a girl hot enough,
Ron, I don't think anyone's doing bath salts. I don't think an NFL receiver's doing bath salts and then showing up on Monday.
it's never impossible in Florida, which is the only place I can recall a bath salt related crime coming out of. Remember that one came out, the big bath salts. I guess video came out with the guy on bath salts eating a person's face, and he peeled up. Coach Kennedy walked into the meeting room one day, like the day after it happened. He's like, "What's up, fellas? See that freak eating that guy's face off bath salts? Yeah, that was 2 streets away from where I grew up. My mom still lives there." And I'm sitting here like, "What?
What?
You can't
Why
drop
is he
that on
dropping
us."
that Kennedy was Sean's offensive line coach? What?
I'm like, "Oh, Florida gets down. This guy's
I don't
pretty
know he was
normal."
from Florida.
I thought he was a crazy person, and then I'm like, "Oh,
Coach Kennedy was from Florida?
I guess he lived in Palm Springs or grew up in wherever that bath salts incident took place. He was from there, or he had family that lived there, and he was like,
Did he play at Northwestern?
Mm-hmm.
That's not registering for me. Okay. All right. Well,
How do you remember that? That's crazy.
I remember player. This is my one.
That's why
the
you can't get
useless-
dumber. I need you here.
I can remember where any football player played in college. Sean Anderson played at the University of Rhode Island.
Very
good. All right, we got to get to Would You Rather.
You reek. That's awful.
We got to get to Would You Rather. You were in charge of Would You Rather this week. What do you got?
Oh, I got one for you, Joseph.
You didn't write it down. What do you got?
Yeah, I don't want you
You
really
got a special one for
getting
me?
a beat
better
on
be
my
a good
Would
one.
You Rathers.
Okay.
My Would You Rather. It's a little warm, seeing some fashion, some different styles of fashion walking around.
Okay.
For life. This is a for life Would You Rather. One decision, you have to do it until you die.
Okay.
Cut off shirt permanently. Not a shirt that
Crop
doesn't
top.
have sleeves. No, arms cut off. Cut off sleeves. Every shirt you buy, you either have to cut it off yourself or rip the sleeves off. It can't be pre-cut and nice and nurtured. It has to be.
Well, okay. Continue. Sorry.
It has to be sleeveless
Mm-hmm.
all times, or thong for life. You wear a thong, no one has to know, but you know.
Oh no.
Public embarrassment, private shame.
Yeah, there's no way to win. Yeah, there's no way to win with the thong because the moments the thong comes up, and that's going to be out, and someone's going to be seeing that.
You wouldn't try to protect yourself with maybe overalls, just to have permanent coverage.
So I have to wear. So you're telling me I wear overalls everywhere I go?
You can let that thing fly. I don't care if you're wearing a thong. I think sometimes you walk around. I'm like, oh, maybe it's riding up on Joe today.
Okay. F off. I would argue if I have to cut off my sleeves off of everything, I'm probably getting pretty good at it. So it's probably looking nice and precise after like the 100th shirt that I have to do that to. I'd probably do the cutoffs. That just sounds incredibly uncomfortable.
Where are you going to
The
live?
thong. I think that you could pull. I think that there's a way to spin it. There's plenty of like content creators and stuff that do like a weird bit that they're known for.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Alex Hormozy guy, like he's like a super intense like entrepreneur guy, and he does like a nose strip. No idea why he does that. Every video you see him, he's got a nose strip on. I have no idea what I don't know if something's wrong with his nose or something. He's also always in a cutoff. He's always in a cutoff.
Sure.
He's an entrepreneur that started some gym business. I don't know what the F it is, but there's a way to spin it and turn it into something. I'd have to like really emphasize working on my arms. I think
you'd have to beef them up. I think you could do that.
If I got like super jacked and like I just like really focused on getting big arms, I think there's a way to spin that positively. No way to spin the thong.
You couldn't live.
There's
up
no.
here.
If I get caught with the thong, we're done.
You'd have to You'd have to go and move the bath salts.
No, I wouldn't.
You think it's cold here 7 months out of the year?
I would?
You're
freeze
walking
my ass off.
You're walking out with no sleeves. I'll be walking next to you in a full sweatsuit, hat on with thong. You wouldn't even know. I'll be rolling by. Look at you. What a moron. Look, he doesn't have sleeves.
Also, it takes us one instance where
true.
it pops out, and then you're done.
But what happens the one instance, do you recall this past winter where we were out drinking nicely? And it was we had a nice eve.
I got a thick vest. I'd get a bunch of really thick vests, some good hats.
We had a nice evening. We left. It was cold, but it wasn't that cold. By the time we left the bar, it was snowing and it was coming down fast. You're going to be able to manage with that?
Yeah. I would put on like 4 cutoffs and a vest and then I would put on like 4 pairs of pants. And a really good hat.
You got no clue how this biology thing
No.
Your skin and armpit is going to be exposed.
Can I wear
care
gloves?
if you wear gloves.
Okay, can I wear an arm sleeve?
No.
I can't wear a shooter sleeve?
No.
Can't wear double shooter sleeves?
No, you cannot wear double shooter sleeves. What is that?
What if
What do you think you could get away with double shooter sleeves?
can I wear wristbands? Can
No,
I wear,
you
can I wear
can't.
gloves
You can't be
and-
wristbands all up your
No.
arms.
I'm just talking about like up to here. Can I go up to here with wristbands?
You can do. Actually, I'm changing my stance on gloves because you tried to push it.
What? No, bullshit.
Long ladies leather gloves, so you can get the coverage up to half wrist, but you have to be wearing
Okay,
ladies gloves.
Okay, that's fine.
Delicate gloves.
That's I
They're
can't
not
get
black.
I
They're
can't
going to be
get wa- I
lavender.
can't- Can they be warm at least?
Yeah, I don't care if they're lined. I mean,
Oh,
I'm not
this
as
is-
savage
this
as
is
going to say you have
this
to have
is
your
no
fingers
problem.
out.
I'm already looking stupid. Who cares? I'm already looking at dumbass.
So you're
Put
going to
the
be
long
walking
ladies gloves
around.
on, cut off. But again, I'm really focusing on making my arms big. There's no way to spin the thong. Okay. If anything, I'd have to stop working out my lower body because, if you end up getting,
Have you
too
been?
jacked. Well, I've been having to
Well.
take. I have been taking a break because my hamstring's been messed up. But
Who might
if,
make a
if your
workout
legs,
joke?
if your legs get, you
Yeah,
shouldn't be.
yeah.
If your legs get too jacked, then your pants end up being too tight, and then people are just going to see the thong. So there's only downside. there.
They're not going to be able to
There's-
see the thong because the thong is sitting in your ass crack.
That's a good point. I don't know enough about thongs.
Here's the problem with the
No,
thong, though.
I'm gonna look badass as shit with those long gloves, big arms, and a cutoff and a vest in the winter. I'm gonna look badass as shit.
I don't think that that's the term.
I would create a new, just fashion movement.
The thong is going to be practically
I think
invisible.
you just want to wear a thong. think
I don't
that's
want to
what
wear a
this is.
thong,
Sounds
but
like
there's
you do.
workarounds.
I
How
don't
about-
want to wear a thong.
how
That
about
sounds
tucking your shirt?
uncomfortable.
If you tucked in your shirt into your
You
pants
get a
or
male
shorts,
bodysuit, basically.
then you're playing ball. At least you got sleeves
No, I
on.
ain't doing this. I ain't doing that.
What happens if you're oh God. If
There's
you,
only
what happens if you got to go to a funeral?
everybody knows I'm the guy who goes. I can lie my way through that. I can say I have a medical condition. I can't cover my arms.
What's the medical
I'm
condition,
allergic
Joe?
to cloth.
Only on your arms?
Yeah, only on my arms.
What about the little claws that are touching your arms
No
from
one-
the
no-
cutoff?
No,
Like
one-
how,
no
how
one's going to be asking those questions because it's going to be so absurd and stupid that it's going to require a lot of questions. Nobody asks
Joseph.
questions. No one's confrontational like this.
Joseph, you showed up to your father's funeral like this?
Okay, all right. Let's not get
Let's
not get that dark. Let's
put
not
the
get that
jacket
dark.
on.
We're not going to get that.
Put
dark.
the jacket on. Put the thong on.
No, I'm not putting the thong on. The thong, absolutely not. Not doing the thong.
Here's the thing. I respect what you're
I know
doing.
that you want to wear one, but I'm not doing it.
I respect what you're doing, which is trying to flip it on me, the question
It
master.
sounds
And-
uncomfortable.
And also, I would not be caught dead saying on this show, I would choose the thong. So I understand that,
Okay.
that you're trying to talk yourself into the less ridiculous position.
Sure.
You're going to be an eyesore.
I think that there's a way to win. As long as I like really, really work out my arms, like I get my arms like really big, like 3 days a week, like really emphasize working on my biceps and shit. Automatic win. People are gonna be too busy looking at me going, he's got big ass biceps.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters.
Gosh, he's got big ass biceps. Man, he looks cold.
I don't care. I'll freeze my ass off.
You don't have to live
I
up
just
here.
won't go outside.
Oh, that's nice. So
Yeah.
you're going to be translucently pale,
Sure.
jacked, walking around,
Yep.
sleeveless.
Yeah. Not wearing a
Oh,
thong.
Okay. I mean, that's how you're operating.
All right.
I'm not going to tell you how to operate.
201-834-4308. Call into the hack bag. Leave us a voicemail. Do we have one?
The mail never stops.
This is the Hack Bag. Hit us on Twitter for questions or call at 201-834-4308.
That means we have one. That means we have one. The phone number's on the bottom of the video, jackasses.
Why are you attacking them?
Call the damn phone line.
There's no need to attack
Call the
these
damn
nice
phone
people.
line.
We would appreciate it.
Do
if
we
you
have
call
one?
the phone line at 201-834-4308. We do have a voicemail.
Oh!
Look how it all turns around. Okay. It's a little hefty, so you're gonna have to ride this one out. Just bracing you here.
Is this somebody we know?
Well, I'm just letting you know it's a little hefty.
Hello, gentlemen. It's the D-Man from X, the Everything app.
A My favorite part.
I know you guys talked about Stefon Diggs tonight, or we'll talk about Stefon Diggs. I don't know what time you do this bit. As a Patriots fan, as a Drake May guy, as a Stefon Diggs guy, he could be holding an infant over an open fire while heiling Hitler. I don't care. That receiving core was so god-awful last year.
It's foul.
He is so important to Drake May's growth. He's so important to Drake May's confidence. I understand a lot of people want to say he's washed. I don't think he is. I think he still has sure hands, which is the most important thing. He is so important to what that team is trying to build right now. He can be Antonio Brown times 50. Okay? He can be on the sideline blaming Joe for a bad sorry. Good. I lost it there. He could pull a Davey Allen. And it doesn't matter. He's so important to that team. He's so important to the growth of Drake May, and he will be an important piece come playoff time too, because they have a very easy schedule. And I think that team could definitely crack their way into the 7th seed. So that's just what I have to say. Stefon Diggs wants to block out the sun. So be it. I love you, man. Bye.
Oh, thank you, D-Man. That was a great voicemail, minus the one thing that we should have probably bleeped. I think we found the one thing. We tell people we'll play any voicemail, and I just realized that
I thought about it. You sent me some source material today. You said, I want voicemails like this. I gave you a voicemail like this.
Okay,
somehow.
well,
I conjured it up.
That was a good one. The source material I sent you was awesome.
I would say equally, if not more problematic.
Yes and no. I will say this. You're not going to have this sentiment if the team's bad. You're not going to have this. If he is well below his per game average throughout his career, and he is trending towards 800 yards, and this team is trending towards 2 games below 500, you're not going to share that same sentiment. He could be a church boy the rest of the year. I promise you, every single Patriots radio station, New England radio station, will be bringing up that boat every single week until he has 100 yards if this team is bad. So no, you're not. I don't agree with this. I don't. Yeah, when a guy becomes a distraction and he sucks, no one's happy. No one's going to be happy. He's making it seem like he's Justin Jefferson.
I was happy when the D-Man cracked himself up trying to tell a Joe DeLeone joke. That makes me happy. Making yourself laugh on a voicemail and powering through. Mm-hmm. I appreciate it. I appreciate the voicemail. Stefon Diggs will be enemy number one the second he complains, second he doesn't have over like 40 yards, second he goes catchless, second he starts pouting on the sidelines, which Stefon Diggs is known to be a little animated on the sidelines. If you give 1 inch to these Boston blowhards, who are also Boston Wolves that will latch and sink their teeth into something until it dies, you're in for a long run. It's going to be a long football season. People talk about the New York media. You'll see Giannotti go up and do 2 really good minutes on Karl Anthony Towns. Great. These Boston guys, they're not going to give you 2 great minutes. They're going to give you 4 straight months. It's going to be the same take every day for 4 months about the cancer in the locker room. And you can just hear it and picture it. It's what they live for. They live to have one villain on the team. And you would hate to be the one guy to be the villain on the team before you've even started training camp. And Stefon Diggs is punching his ticket towards that.
Yeah, no one wants the distraction. I don't agree with this. It's not like you just traded and brought in Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. He is probably going to be washed. We got time for one more question. What do we got?
Oh, let's go from Chester. How happy are you the snack wraps are back?
I can't remember the last time I've had a snack wrap, but I'm kind of excited. I think that this could be something. You know what I've been meaning to try? This is random. I'm meaning to try those Taco Bell nuggets.
What?
Those Taco Bell nuggets are supposed to be really good.
I'm glad you ran this past me. Don't even
Really?
My sources.
Oh, they're bad.
Have been.
Would you eat the Arby's steak nuggets?
No, I wouldn't.
I think we should try all of these on the show.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
You know what? It's the off season. That's actually not a bad plan, Joe. Let's do the Hack City Diarrhea Roundtable, where we'll get the worst conceivable item from each fast food establishment.
Okay.
And just see which.
No, the new items from all of the fast food establishments. But I do agree with that. We should get all the bad.
It has to be called the Diarrhea Roundtable, though, because we're not doing it for science in the thought and the idea diarrhea. Where it would be, we're seeing which one tastes the best for the most. It's which one induces the worst diarrhea. I think that should be the plan. I'm thrilled about the snack wraps. I'm displeased that the quote tweet for this question was of a Ray J, Kim Kardashian tongue kiss, but it is what it is. That's how I feel the way about the snack wrap. It's perfect. The snack wrap is the closest fast food item that we have today that would replicate the quality of fast food in its heyday in the 1990s, early 2000s, where cheap, affordable, quality. And the McDonald's snack wrap is leagues above all because 1, they're delicious. 2, they don't overdo it. Those big ass wraps. Remember those big ass wraps that McDonald's introduced?
Yeah.
That were like
they were shit.
10 inches and they were shit.
They were shit.
Those were abysmal. I'm sorry, you threw me. I don't even need to describe them anywhere. They were shit. 3, the snack wrap has the perfect blend of the ranch, lettuce, cheese, chicken, and
I'm sorry, but
tortilla.
Someone is cooking something that smells tremendous right now.
I know. It smells good. It's getting me in the mood for a snack wrap, which I think are available July 10th. Here is the deal with the snack wrap. You can eat as many of them as you want. They are like the Taco Bell soft taco. You ever see the 12-pack of those and say, wow, I hope no one else touches those so I can have 12 soft tacos to myself. It's a perfect fast food item. It's a 10 out of 10. The fact that McDonald's is like jerking our D's because they don't know if they want to keep them involved, why not? I think it's because, genuinely, Joe, stay with me, I don't think they have the time or the patience to train employees how to wrap the tortilla.
Probably not.
I think it's
a little too complicated.
But they wrap the burgers in that paper so well. I think that's the only reason it goes away.
That's not wrapping a wrap, though. That's not the same thing. Well, but let me ask you this, though. Have you been keeping an eye on the Popeyes?
Oh, yeah. Wraps? 3 new flavors. I saw you got the spicy, you got the regular.
Those caught my attention more than the snack wrap coming back. Snack wrap coming back.
Say
it. Snack wrap coming back.
Snack wrap coming back.
No. You didn't say it as fast as I did. Snack wrap coming back.
You wear those hats when
snack wrap coming back.
The snapbacks.
Snack wrap coming back.
Look,
one time. Snack wrap coming back.
Snack wrap coming back.
No.
You know what? That is
stink. Eat shit.
God,
I want to try the Popeyes one. The Popeyes one. I have a picture of it. I pulled it up. I mean, that looks tremendous. That looks better than the McDonald's one.
Let me tell you why you're wrong. I'm not out on it because Popeyes used to have a secret menu item of the burrito. You could get a Popeyes chicken burrito with the red beans and rice and a Popeyes tender in the middle. They'd wrap it up for you, and they were phenomenal. They were excellent.
You could order that.
You could, yes.
Okay.
And I don't think they do them anymore. They're doing these, and I think they're going to have pickles on them. I think they're going to be overly breaded. The tortilla is going to be fine. I think there's going to be too much lettuce. I'm also not really trusting the Popeyes lettuce because I never see Popeyes lettuce. When have you, at least McDonald's, their lettuce, know what it tastes like from a Big Mac or a McKicky. The snack wrap, it has the perfectly breaded chicken. I'm so fat and I know how I sound, but look,
the way that
it's got the perfectly breaded chicken. The cheese, you can't find this McDonald's cheese anywhere else. The snack wrap cheese is 1,000 times better than any other shredded cheese that I've had. It's thick. It pairs with the lettuce and the ranch. It's perfect. The Popeyes wrap will be good. And it will be good enough to usher in Chicken Wars Part 2. Let that be known. Where I'm hoping...
God, the way that you're tracking this is insane.
I'm really...
this is... You gave more analysis on this than you did on Justin Fields.
Oh, he's boring. His snack wrap is back, baby. Come on. Look, this is momentous. I've seen 1,000 Justin Fieldses. I haven't seen 1,000 snack wraps. I've gone to other countries, walked into McDonald's, seen that they have wraps, order it. It's the big boat wrap, and I've been so pissed. All I want is a snack wrap back.
Can we address, by the way, Rack inviting us to the Seether concert in Atlantic City? Wait. Oh, this is in October. Rack, we can't go during the football season. I was gonna pitch we go to Virginia Beach and we visit a friend. We visit good old Perry Schrader. And then you see that like a random, I think it's a bot account, but some random OnlyFans model like on the thing that Rack tagged us in was like, "Can I come?" Wait, where is it?
Yeah, can we address this crew going to the Seether concert? Me, Joe DeLeone, and Sanderson Radio confirmed, along with Nova _Sadie.
Yeah, she said, "Let's do this." She doesn't have very many followers.
Who just invited herself. Where are Rise and Draft and at the Joe Serralo? They ain't coming. Neither am I. I'm not going to this shit, Joe. You won't find me dead at a Seether concert. You know why? Take one guess.
Why?
It's too scary.
You're a coward. Sorry, I got caught up. I'm
scary.
scrolling through this OnlyFans model's account.
Oh, okay. You know what? That is more important.
I wasn't listening.
Here's the thing: if you're putting a big ass skull on your tour promo poster, it's not going to bother me. When the skull looks like it's oozing drool into a bath with looks like a woman in it, and it's all scary and bright.
I'm sorry that you're a coward.
That sucks.
I'm sorry that you're a coward.
Seether sucks. Daughtry sucks. With badass co-headline tour with POD and
Rack. Find us one that's this summer. Find us one that's this summer, and I will go, and I will bring Sean.
The tour starts in October.
Yeah, not this one. Find us one that is this summer that is in New Jersey in driving distance.
I will go to a concert with Rack.
Okay,
I'm not ruling that out.
Okay. Here's the deal. We're going to close in after this. I will go to a metal concert if you find one that is in the area, but you have to come to the NBA Youngboy concert at the Prudential Center with us. Rack has to.
I'm going to invite a lot of people to that Youngboy concert.
It's on a Wednesday.
Perfect. Joe, I'm not going in on Thursday.
I'm the one who sent it to you.
You don't know how excited
I'm the
I
one
am.
You're going to this NBA Youngboy concert. It's in the middle of the football season, though. That's the only thing that's kind of like this.
Doesn't matter. Wednesday, that's fine. Just roll right into Thursday. That's just going to be a, hey, RR, I got you. It's not going to be a concern of mine going to a Youngboy concert on a Wednesday. I will have the time of my life. How many times is that going to happen in your life?
That's a great point.
And if anyone thinks that, Joe and Sean aren't real about, no, unironically.
There's a Saturday in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. Although, no, there's going to be college football.
Well, here, the camera on base, they discussed the Barclays Center. Well, we love NBA Youngboy. That Barclays Center crew might be a little too hard for me to be able to defend you if needed. I think we'll coast fine.
Have you been to the Barclays Center before?
Have you heard the stories about the Barclays Center before?
I've been to the Barclays Center before.
How is it?
It's fine.
For what? What have you gone and seen there?
I went to an Islanders game.
Oh!
Not exactly.
Ooh! Monopoly and Sorry are both board games. I wonder which one causes more fights. God, Joe.
Arguably the hockey fans from Long Island. There's a Monday concert though we could go to. We go to Monday. That's the Prudential Center.
This is Youngboy?
Yeah.
So it's Monday now, not Wednesday?
No, it's a Monday. You can also go to the one in Jacksonville.
That would actually be rowdier than any concert up here. I'd rather do the Saturday. I'd rather make a whole Saturday. We get everybody, Joe, everyone that we know. Everyone gets an invite to see NBA Youngboy at the Prudential Center.
I'm trying to see if there's like
at the Barclays.
There's always like a Bridgeport, Connecticut one. I want to go to the Bridgeport, Connecticut. That was one of the weirdest. That was the first concert I've ever been to. I went to Hootie and the Blowfish. No, Darius Rucker.
Oh,
not
so
Hootie.
Posted.
Yeah,
Hootie.
I went to Darius Rucker in Bridgeport, Connecticut. So you could probably.
So you're not Hootie. Where the Blowfish, dude?
Awful bit. As bad as you think Bridgeport, Connecticut is, it's worse. We stayed in a Super 8 that had 3 beds in it. Yeah. It was behind a sex shop, which we went into after the concert because we were curious. This was sophomore year.
You got fired up from Hootie?
Yeah, we got one of the funniest concerts. But he's playing in Philly.
Who is
the Philly?
Hootie's playing in Philly?
No, not Hootie. NBA Young Boy.
Gotcha. Sorry.
He's also in DC on a Wednesday on October 1st. The Philly one's on Friday.
That DC
We could
show.
stay at Ryan's house. Ryan said we could stay at his house. If we stay on the Friday
I
one?
could get some heads at that DC show. I'd have an army at that DC show.
I don't know if we're getting in. All right, we got to end this. Joe DeLeone, Sean Anderson at Hack City Pod. We'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your week.